Hi, this is Vera Cabrera continuing the series at Google Forms and Sheets for the Amateur, and this is actually the 7th video in the series, and in this video I'm going to focus on Sheets in particular, and we're going to talk about just some basic editing tools for Google Sheets. Okay, and I have a sheet here open, and as you already know, Google Forms dump information into Google Sheets. So when you are editing, you need to keep that in mind, that once you have created your form, your sheet is created based on your form. So if you go in and do a whole lot of editing on sheets in regards to moving columns and rows around, then it will end up not matching your form anymore, which is not a huge deal. You can always rearrange it, but just keep that in mind. It's best to create your form, get it all organized and finished the way you wanted it, then create the sheet to go with it, and try not to move a whole lot of things around. But still, there may be times whenever you're using just a sheet and you need to do some editing. So I want to show you what I can here to help you with some editing. First of all, just a real general easy thing is deleting rows and columns or moving them. And so I'm going to go over here and pretend like I don't need this column anymore. So if I highlight the column, the whole thing, there are some drop down menus options there to hide it and so forth, but that really does not delete it, doesn't get rid of it. In order to do that, if you have it highlighted, click edit, and then down here you'll have the idea to delete column, or the link to delete column I. You can also delete values from it, which will just empty out the values in all of those, and then you can reuse it if you wanted to. But notice I did have some formatting, some validation there that went with it, so if I would want to reuse that probably. So if I wanted to delete the whole thing, then I just click the whole thing there. Okay, and as you noticed also, there's some other options under the edit menu, which is move column left, move column right. That's one way that you can do that. But also, when you have it highlighted, if you put your cursor at the top, it turns into a hand, then that allows you to drag and drop as well. So you can rearrange things that way. But once again, if you rearrange them this way, then your form won't necessarily match anymore. And so your form will dump them in the right column, but the columns will be in the wrong place, the wrong order. And so keep that in mind. Okay, now I have several highlighted. I have to unhighlight it. And so if I want to move it back here, then I can just move it back. Okay, so, and you can do the same thing with rows that you can with columns. Notice when I move to that row, click the number at the end of it, it turns into a hand, and I can drag it and drop it around as well. And when I have a row highlighted, then this changes to rows. Delete row 4, delete the values, move row up, move row down, etc. Another thing that you can do is you can insert rows above or below, and if I have a column highlighted, then the insert menu is going to give me the option to insert a column to the left or the right. And most people probably know that already, but in case you didn't, there it is. Okay, Google Forms is doing a new thing also with text wrapping, and you may have noticed just in the last little bit that when you were typing in a text, it used to stop and stack up, used to wrap is what it's called, but now it's doing this new thing where if you're typing, it will automatically spread out into other columns, okay, and you may or may not want that to happen. So what you can do is with a cell highlighted, you can turn the text wrapping on or off. And so if I have this information here and I want to have it wrap, then I can click there and it will not exceed into the other cells. And so you can do that for a whole column. You can text wrap on or off for the whole column, or you can do it just by cell, so whichever way you need to do it. And you have this vertical alignment as well. You can vertically align things, you can horizontally align them, left, center, right, things that you can do anywhere, you can do here as well. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is merging cells, and sometimes you might want to insert something into your spreadsheet, maybe a bigger, wider area. And so if you wanted to do that, let's say I'm going to delete what I have in that column, but let's say I want to make a, maybe I want to insert a picture or something over here, and I want it to be large, and I want all those cells to kind of be merged together. Then I can merge cells, and it gives me a big empty space there separate of my chart, separate of my spreadsheet. And so then you can either write something bigger instructions, you can fill that area with different color, You can add pictures to it, whatever you want to do. But that again was merge cells, and sometimes that can be very useful because everything you want in your spreadsheet may not fit in a nice little grid, and so that gives you a little more flexibility. The next thing I do want to show you, and a lot of people probably know this already as well, is copy down. If you have filled a cell in, when you click it, you have this little arrow right here. You can copy the information from that cell down to others. And of course, I don't want to do that because that's incorrect. But that's a speed trick. If you have the same information in several cells or a whole row, then you can copy it down. And the next thing I want to show you is how to copy format only. Okay, for example, if a lot of times it's hard to see a let me take off my formatting on this one, and I'll just wait on that. Okay, so a lot of times it's hard to kind of deal with a spreadsheet if all of the rows are the same color. And so one thing that you can do is to put some highlighting behind them. You can do two rows, like if I want to have one column be this pale color, yellow, and then I'll have the next column be this pale blue color, and I want all of my rows to be like that. Then I can highlight these two rows only, and I can go up here to Edit and Paste Special, and this gives you lots of options. You can paste only the values, only the format, oops, where did it go? All except the borders, value, formula only, data validation only, conditional formatting. Okay, to use this Paste Special feature, I'm going to copy the format of these two rows because I have the backgrounds colored, and I did that by selecting the row, going up here and choosing background, and so I have those two selected, and I want to copy that color code all the way down, but I don't want to copy the text in them. So first of all, I highlight both of the rows, and I go up here to Edit and Copy. Okay. And then I highlight the rest of my rows in the whole sheet, ever how far you want to go, and I go back to Edit, and this time don't do Paste or it will paste the contents, but choose Paste Special, Format Only, and there you have it. Okay, the formatting will copy those down. I will give you a word of caution though, don't do this until you have the sheet sorted in the way you want it, because if you rearrange the order, then the color coding will not work anymore. It will. I'll show you, for example, if I suddenly decide to sort this, well, the opposite one probably would work, but if I move a row, if I decide to move one of my rows somewhere else, then you have two rows the same color. It's not going to drag the format with it unless you do this Paste Special. Okay. Another way to kind of achieve the same thing is if you highlight a couple of columns or a couple rows and you click this little paint format tool, it will paint only the format. So if I go down here to the very end where I haven't done this yet, and I can highlight these rows and I click this tool again, and see it paints the format. So that's actually a little quicker way to do it that automatically paints only the format. Okay, this video is getting a little long, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. In the next video, I'm going to talk about inserting hyperlinks and images into cells of your spreadsheet.